This is something that Schumer and Lindsey Graham are working on. This is the insiders. Schumer's probably one of the biggest crooks going. Lindsey Graham from South Carolina, the Republicans, just as bad. They're trying to propose amnesty again. It's going to come up. You're going to see this in the next month or so, maybe the next couple of weeks. They're going to push as hard with amnesty as they push with this health bill. They're going to use the same kind of tactics to get it through. But Schumer and Graham have come up with an idea. They said, well, we'll leave the people here, but what we'll do is all of the American workers will give them ID cards, special biometric ID cards. So the illegal aliens won't have anything, but the Americans will have, show me your papers, a national ID as a worker, not as a driver's license, just to go to work. You're going to need a national ID card. This is what these people are proposing. Why? They'll take your ID card, match it with your health care bill, match it with your tax return, check your driver's license, all on computers. They'll know everything about you. But what they're saying is, in order for you to work in the United States of America, you're going to need an ID card. And this is one of these things, one sentence, in these big bills, 2,000 pages, one sentence. Hey, government newspeak, this is some of the new language. You notice, if you read the bill, the book 1984 by George Orwell, what they did is simply to control the people, they just changed the language. It's like if you lie enough, long enough, it becomes the truth. So, you know, war is peace, slavery is freedom, ignorance is strength. These are the new man-caused disasters. Used to be terrorism. Be a terrorist incident. Now it's man-caused disasters. That was a formal change with the Department of Homeland Security. It's now called man-caused disasters. Police action, peacekeeping. They used to call it war. Now it's peace. They send our troops from one end of the world to the other. We haven't declared war since World War II. We've lost 70,000 American soldiers in combat all over the world without a declaration of war. What's happened is the executive branch, working with the United Nations, has figured out a way to commit American troops to do their dirty work. And our Congress has gone along with it. The Constitution is very clear. In order to go to war, you need a declaration of war. And you got to go to war, you got to go to win. But what we're doing now is we're having these police actions. People are still dying. We're still in Bosnia. You probably don't even hear about it. You don't even know we're there. We're still there. We're there for a long time. Social justice. You hear this term now all the time. It's social justice. It's social equality. We all got to be equal. This is a term coined by Karl Marx. It's a communist term. And you better wake up, because these are the terms that our government is using now. They're using stuff right out of Karl Marx's writings. Investing in the future. That means they're going to take money out of your pocket and give it to somebody else. But that's the term they use now. If we don't invest in the future, it'll be worse 10 years from now. So when they say that word, invest in the future, you know it's going to cost you some money. Patriots. What do they call us now on television? Teabaggers, Nazis. You know, they just had a guy that supposedly, in a Tea Party rally, made a threat against the president. It was reported on the news. Kill Obama. Well, the Secret Service just came out with a report today and said that the reporter made it up. This is what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with an honest press anymore. There was no news there. They wanted to make the Tea Party people look bad. They just made it up. It was written by a reporter. Everybody believes it. Goes out on the internet, goes out in the newspapers. 3 days later, it's found it to be unfounded. There's no rebuttal. There's no, oh, we're sorry, you know. That's it. As far as everybody knows, that's the story. Undocumented migrant workers. This is a term right out of the UN Agenda 21. People have a right to go anywhere they want, and when they get there, you're supposed to take care of them. Right from the United Nations. That's why we have open borders. Because we are supporting. We have signed off on Agenda 21 of the United Nations. Our government has. They agreed to this. So here's we're into sovereignty again. These are some quick issues. Law of the Sea Treaty, have you heard this one? Trying to push it? The Law of the Sea Treaty is a UN treaty. They're trying to get the United States to sign off on it. It will give the United Nations control over all international waters and the tributaries. They'll be able to come up the Hudson River. The UN, so our lobster fishermen, when they go out, they're going to have to get a permit from the UN. We will have to turn our technology over to third world countries to equalize it. Social justice. So we lose. We sign that. It's just another treaty that we lose. The climate change in Copenhagen. They found out it was all phony. The science was, these guys were crooks. And we're still going ahead with it. Cap and trade, Copenhagen Agreement. Why? It's all about taxes, money, and control. They are trying to break our manufacturing business in the United States. If they can break it and we go into a tailspin, they're going to win. We won't be able to build anything to fight back. Well, there's a whole bunch of those things. One quick one, Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. We hear that in the United States. There's 552 places in the United States that has an unelected committee in charge of sustainable development in cities and towns. This is where an unelected group of people gets together with quasi-approval from the elected people in the town to control who's going to build what, where in your town. It's a UN program. It's created by the Green Movement. A lot of the green people, unfortunately, we call them watermelons. Green on the outside, red on the inside. If you do a lot of background information on a lot of the leaders of a lot of the big green organizations, you'll find out they're all communist. Their histories are communist. But anyway, Agenda 21 is one of these things where there's three levels. There's the complete rural level, the reinstitution of wolves to the wild. They've done this out in Wyoming or something. The people are afraid of their lives. They can't leave their houses because the wolves are multiplying like crazy. They can't go out at night. It's all about getting the people out of those areas, back into a more controllable area, and then leaving the land wild that only certain people can go on. Certain environmentalists can go in it to check, but the average citizen of the United States is going to be barred from it. That's Agenda 21. Let's move. Climate change, formerly known as global warming. Have you seen any headlines in the United States like this? Daily News, Register Star. The whole thing is a fraud. Someone hacked into the email system. They found out they were cooking the books, absolutely lying. Any bad research that they did, they threw away. They made it up, and they got caught. They got caught about a week before Copenhagen. This was the headlines throughout the world. The head of the United Nations climate change guy resigned. NASA was supposed to be submitting information to the climate change people in Anglican University in the United Kingdom. They didn't do it because they thought their information was better. So the entire thing was made up. They found out Al Gore, the carbon credits thing, Al Gore owned the company. So if you had all these carbon credits, you see flies around the world with these big jets. Well, I always buy carbon credits. Well, he owns the company. And guess who's going to be the Wall Street firm that was going to handle the trading of carbon credits? Goldman Sachs. What a coincidence, isn't it?